Okay, this is an addition to the clips on psychoanalytical criticism. I had said that I would talk a little bit about Freud and whether he always meant sexual feelings when he talks about erotic feelings, and he doesn't. When he talks about desire and when he talks about erotic feelings, what he's actually seems to mean, most would agree now, is not sexual feelings really, but physical feelings, the physical feelings that can be sexual but do not need to be sexual or do not need to be experienced as being sexual. There need be no conscious thought about sex, no conscious desire for sex. When you have these feelings, they can just be pleasurable physical feelings within the body. And for Freud, these feelings are not limited to the genital area, but can be feelings, pleasurable feelings on other parts of the body. And of course, since Freud, we have in society in general started talking about different erogenous zones, and some people, their earlobes are erogenous zones, or the back of their neck, or sometimes the inside of their elbow, or their wrists, or the small of their back. All these different things can be erogenous zones. But it's also true that when we talk about erogenous zones, we mean that they can lead to sexual pleasure, but it doesn't have to be limited to sexual pleasure. And that is a very important distinction in Freud. On page 14 in Critical Theory Today, Lois Tyson says this, I think, about attachment and parents, feelings children can have for their parents. It is important to note that Oedipal attachments, sibling rivalry, and the like are considered developmental stages. In other words, we all go through these experiences, and they are a natural and healthy part of maturing and establishing our own identities. It is when we fail to outgrow these conflicts that we have problems. Here's an example common to many women. If I remain in competition with my mother for my father's love, a competition that can go on in my unconscious long after one or both parents are dead, I will probably be most attracted to men who already have girlfriends or wives, because their attachment to another woman will allow me to replay my competition with my mother and this time win. Of course, I might not win the man this time, and even if I do, once I've won him, I'll lose interest in him. Although I probably don't realize it consciously, his desirability lies in his attachment to someone else. Once he's mine, he's not exciting anymore. On the other hand, if as a child I felt that I won my father's affection from my mother, which he may have given me as a way of punishing or avoiding my mother, then I may be attracted to men who already have girlfriends or wives and who don't seem likely to leave them, because I feel I need to be punished for stealing dad from my mother. Okay. What this is talking about is attachment, and affectionate attachment, a desire for the attention of someone else, the desire for, in this case, the attention of the parent, in this case, the opposite sex parent. Children can feel in competition with their siblings for their parents' attention, but they can also feel in competition with the other parent for a parent's attention. And the idea in psychoanalytic theory is that if children, if this is not a passing phase with children, if this is not corrected so that they no longer feel jealousy because mom is paying more attention to dad, or dad is paying more attention to mom, or so, then this can lead to a dysfunction, a problem in relating to other people. And because this jealousy can occur at a very young age, we don't necessarily remember the jealousy, but if it becomes a part of our personality and we internalize it, then it can cause problems for a longer, well, throughout our lives. But the idea then with psychoanalytical therapy is that by becoming aware that we were perhaps unusually attached to one parent, that this could be the source of the problems that we are experiencing today in our relationships. And most of us know if we are experiencing problems today in our relationships, and that perhaps childhood can be a part of that. Again, this attachment to the parent in childhood is not about it being sexual attachment. It's about it being an emotional cathexis, an emotional bond, which is good to have. Children should form bonds. They need to form bonds with parents. But the question is there a point where the bond goes beyond being healthy? And psychology will say yes, there is a point beyond which the bond is healthy. And this is usually, children are not good at keeping secrets, and so this usually has to do with jealousy, and they will show that they are jealous. And so this is what Freud is talking about. And I wanted to clarify that because a lot of people think about Freud and they think that everything in Freud boils down to sex. Well, it doesn't, definitely not so. And even the things that when he talks about sexual energy and he talks about sexual desire and he talks about desire, it could mean sex, but it can just mean pleasure or emotional pleasure, emotional or physical pleasure. And so I wanted to clarify that because I think it's an important point, especially as we work with Freud today. All right, thank you very much.